Hi guys. So we've got a lot of queries from you guys and asking for the most important thing, which is how to potty train your pet. Potty training a puppy is extremely difficult. It can be extremely harassing mentally also, because no matter how much you think that you've done well, you take them to somebody's house and they'll pee or poop all over the floor, or when there are guests over, they do the same thing. So a few very important things in potty training. One is constant surveillance. Now that's something that Tara and I have been able to do during this lockdown. We're practically seeing her all throughout, except for the time when we are obviously trying to sleep. And even for that, we have gotten something called a crate for her. Crate training, as they call it, requires a different episode altogether, because it's got a lot of taboos attached to it. But again, I'll speak about it. But let's concentrate on just peeing and pooping for now. So there are obviously a telltale signs when the puppy has to pee or poop. More so with pooping, less with peeing, because it can just be as natural as walking and then stopping and just peeing. And the telltale signs for pooping are a lot more evident. They tend to sniff a lot and look for that sweet spot in the corners, or anywhere. It could be anywhere, and then try and do that. So let's talk about how we addressed peeing first. So traditionally, how Indian families or Indian parents handle the peeing bit is that they let the puppy pee in the house wherever the puppy pees, and then they just put newspaper on it, and eventually just spray some Dettol and then clean it, and then take the paper and put it in a bag and send it across. Now the puppy doesn't realize that that's not the place that the puppy needs to pee. To teach that, what we did after some extensive research is that we bought something like this. So this is called a puppy pad. It's very interesting. It's got plastic here, and it's got this soaking bit here that you just lay it out on the floor, and in the initial days. And once you do that, when you lay it out on the floor, you try and make sure that whenever your puppy is peeing, through constant surveillance, you ensure that the puppy goes and pees on this, or when the puppy is peeing, you literally pick her up or pick him up while she's peeing or he's peeing, and you put it on the pad. This really helps. It takes about a day to get okay, but trust me, it really, really helps. She took about 2 days to realize that. It's a different feeling altogether when you take your 2-month-old puppy, who's just recently arrived to a friend's house, and you just lay out these 2-3 pads, and she goes and she pees on this only and not dirties the house. It's a different feeling, and they would see it right there that she would pee only on the pads. So whenever we had relatives over, they'd see that peeing only on the pads, and that's an extremely proud moment for any pet parent. So peeing is something that you can sort it out again with the constant surveillance bit in about maybe a week's time, because we've been able to do it in 3 days, and I feel that anybody can do it in a week's time. You need these puppy baths, very honestly. It will be sometimes frustrating also, because there have been times when she goes all over the puppy pad and then she pees on the corner. But then again, positive reinforcement is the only way to train your puppy, and just keep at it, keep going at it. Tell the puppy that no, it's supposed to pee on the middle, do pee there only. Now, for the most important part, which is how to potty train, because that's the smelly part of having a puppy. So again, I'll talk about the night time, which is the most difficult time for any pet parent, in a separate episode, which will have crate training and why you should have it. But so when they have to go for potty, there are 2-3 things. So one very important thing is that they will have this particular telltale sign all throughout. you will know when they want to poop. And eventually, in a day or two, you will realize that they have these timings. Dogs have a good digestive system. They digest their food in about an hour, half an hour, hour and a half of eating. So definitely take them out before and after. You practically be giving your dog food 4 times or maybe 3 times a day. Okay. So that basically means you'll be taking the dog out at least 7 times a day to poop. I will always suggest and urge you, Chloe, I will always suggest and urge you to not make it a habit to let the dog poop in the house. Take the dog out all throughout, maybe 7, 8, 10 times. And once the dog is pooped, keep these, snacks handy. Immediately, tell them that's good girl or good boy, or, have a clicker if you have to have a clicker, and, do something about it. That's extremely important. If at all, you're living in the second floor or, or the first floor, you're not on the ground floor, you have the luxury of taking your dog out each time, then, again, I'd suggest that these puppy pads would be the only way that you can train them. They're also great for pooping. So, as a pet parent, my biggest advice that I'll give you is the first 2-3 weeks, spend time with them, be on constant surveillance, and once you realize that they have a routine, then it'll be awesome. So please send us your comments, your feedback. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we'd love to hear what all do you want me to cover next. Because there's so much to cover, in terms of what's the best way to go around when you're a new pet parent. Thanks so much.